in-house now. Some of the highlights on is that it's a jumbo product, so it's loans over 548,000 or 601, depending on your county location. The credit scores go as low as 680, which is huge. Most of our jumbo investors are really baseline in that it's credit scores of 700, so that opens up actually quite a bit of market share for jumbo buyers. We also accept non-permanent resident aliens, properties up to 20 acres. So there's places that are, obviously little farmettes and little things like that we can do. And another big one on there, and it's again transparent to the realtor, but it really translates to the borrower, the client, is that we don't require tax returns if the client is a W-2 income earner. So instead of getting all these tax returns where all of our jumbo investors want everything, every schedule, every little piece of paper, if your client is a W-2 employee, obviously as an executive or whoever that might be, we do not need full-blown tax returns. We just need a W-2 and 2 pay stubs. And the other nice thing about it too, for lending purposes, that since it's our portfolio rate program, the interest rates are very aggressive. For example, I locked a client in last week, jumbo loan amount of about 880, and I did a 75-day lock, which takes us out almost 2.5 months, and the rate was 3.125 with no points. So that's also another big thing too. We are, keeping this in-house, and we'll securitize it on a later date, but it just gives us more of expanded guidelines for the jumbo market, which we've been needing since COVID started. So other than that, we do have jumbo investors that go up to 90% loan to value, up to $1 million with no private mortgage insurance. And obviously speak with me and Jose on any type of direct things. I appreciate your time. And this is just another arrow in our quiver that we can offer better jumbo financing for your client base. Thanks a lot. Have a great day, and feed your cat well.
Really? Thank you, John. Always appreciated. And we will make sure to raise the level of the gourmetness in our cat food. All right. So a couple of quick announcements for you this morning. Number one, for those of you who have used or considered using Cole Realty Resource as a way to get telephone numbers and cell phone numbers and email addresses, Cole kind of addresses quite a lot of things for potential outbound connection. We are working with them right now to bring to you some massive discount. They do not have a broker version of Cole Realty Resource, and so what they're offering us is if we can get at least 15 of you to say yes to it, instead of don't hold me to these numbers because we're still working with them, but instead of paying them either $799 or $899, that's $700 or $899 for the year, they're looking to, with 15 of you saying yes, knock that down to $299 for the entire year. It's a massive discount that we're working on with them. My thought is, even I know a couple of you share Cole Realty Resource right now. If you shared the $299 and made it, 3 of you using one account for $100 a piece for the entire year, that could really change things for you. So stay tuned. We're just in the process of doing that. However, I wanted to throw it out there just to see what kind of interest there might be. So if that is something that is more interesting to you than not, do me a favor, just shoot me a quick email a little bit later today saying, hey, I'd be interested in exploring that Cole Realty Resource for myself and a friend at that $299 for the entire year price. And again, Cole Realty Resource is a system that allows you to pull telephone numbers by address, by demographic, by just about anything. So let me know if you're interested. If we have enough interest, I'll continue pursuing that and get that back and done for you by next week. Okay, that's number one. Number two, for those of you involved in our weight loss challenge, it was a reporting day on Monday and I forgot to announce it. So if you haven't gone in and reported on that Google spreadsheet, go ahead and do that. There are some of you who reported once and then never again. So I don't know if you're still going, but if you are still going, go ahead and report. We're excited to help you track your progress. And remember, the goal is more gorgeous than we are today. So we're just pushing for extra gorgeousness. Listings. So listings, we are in the middle of a listings push between the 10th of March and the end of April. If you remember that 7-week period of time, I wanted to give you your update today. So the goal is 45 new written listings every single week, which means 4 weeks in, we should be at 180. And today we are at 177. 177. So you guys are totally on track. You're pushing hard. I know listings seem to be kind of the thing of the moment, and you're looking under every single rock. However, clearly enough of you are looking under the right rocks, because 177 new listings in the last 4 weeks keeps us on track for what ultimately was a huge goal of 45 new ones a week, or 315 during the period. So keep it up. Great work, great job. And I'm excited to keep you posted next week as to where we stand. So 2 things as our main topics this morning. The first is I wanted to give you, announce an incentive that we're going to open up starting today for the next 4 weeks. So while you're out there taking listings over the next 4 weeks to drive to our 315 number, you can also be thinking about these 2 new incentives. The incentives are to utilize the new KW Concierge services and to refer business into the new insurance joint venture opportunity that we have for you. And how this is going to work is each week, over the course of the next 4 weeks, so by next Wednesday, as long as at least 10 of you have utilized the KW Concierge services, we will put your names in a hat and pull out a winner for $100 cash. And as long as at least 10 of you have utilized the concierge, the insurance opportunity by sending that golden email referral to Sue Ringer, we will put your names in a hat and pull another winner for another $100. So that's $200 a week, 1 concierge, 1 insurance. If you're out there selling houses, there's no reason why you can't be entered in there a whole bunch of times. Every time you use the service, either side, it's another opportunity to have your name go into the hat for that cold hard cash. Please note that if we don't have at least 10 of you in one or both of those, in each of those services, we'll roll that $100 to the next week. If it takes us 2 weeks to get to 10, well, then it takes us 2 weeks to get to 10, and we just pull it once. So minimum of 10 in a week. My point is these things are available to you and useful as tools to help you either save time or create more opportunity for you and your clients. And we're finding that they're being way underutilized. So we want to incentivize you to use them, because what we believe is that once you start using them, you will recognize their value. Right now, it's just new and everyone's busy, and who has time to learn a new thing? I get it. And so we're going to give you a little push. So let us now not only do that work for you, but pay you to do that work for you. Make sense? All right, so you'll see an email go out later on that, just explaining all the ins and outs, but $100 a week or $200 a week, depending on what you're focused on, is up for grabs over the course of the next 4 weeks. And it can be the same person who wins both each week. So that's a potential of $800 in your pocket in the next month by just plugging in and utilizing the systems that we have for you to use. So I hope you're excited about that. I am certainly excited to get that started today. And so lastly today, I wanted to just have a quick conversation around the next 12 weeks, right? We started the 4th quarter last Thursday. We started the 2nd quarter. Whew, man. Boy, 2021 just evaporated in front of our eyes. We started the 2nd quarter last Thursday. And so we're about a week in. There's 13 weeks in every quarter, which means we have 12 weeks left in the 2nd quarter. And what I'd like to do is give you a really, really short version of how to utilize a plan like is outlined in the book, The 12-Week Year, if any of you have ever read that book. And if you haven't, I encourage you to read it. It's called The 12-Week Year. And the whole concept is that, you know how you get tons of work done just before you go on vacation? Because there is that sense of urgency. Well, the whole point of this book is when we work off of annual goals and it's March or April, well, it feels like we have tons of time to get those goals under our belt. It feels like, well, if we don't do it today, we'll just do it tomorrow. If we didn't take a new listing today or this week or this month, well, I've got plenty more time, right? And the whole focus of this book is to help you be more effective and efficient today and create a level of urgency by looking at every 12-week period as your year, right? So what happens if we were to look at the opportunity of taking the next 12 weeks and closing them as strong as if it were the end of the year, right? So the first thing that you have to do is take a mindset shift. You have to take a mindset shift that between now and the end of June, that is your year. That is, you're going to now be defined by that period of time, not between now and the end of the year. Your business will be defined by what you do and accomplish between now and June 30th. Hey, just a side note, in our industry, is the second quarter probably the most important quarter of business that we have, right? Certainly from a seasonality perspective, spring does show up. And for those doubters on the call this morning, I fully expect spring to show up this year as well, right? So the first thing I want you to do is recognize that you have to take a mindset shift. You have to take a mindset shift that says, I will treat the next 12 weeks as if it's my entire year. I will set June 30th as a deadline for X, Y, and Z accomplishments, for these results, based on the activities I'm going to focus on every single week for the next 12 weeks. The other mindset shift you have to take, for those of you who are still struggling with it, is that listings are available to be taken. You continue to prove it every single week when I read you those numbers, right? You found 177 new listings. Just go find 177 more, right? The other mindset shift on the buyer's side is that there are no houses for buyers to buy. Guys, I look at the MLS and get reports from your MCAs every single day. I can tell you that that's simply not true. People are buying houses every day. You just have to make sure it's your buyers who are the ones that are going under agreement, right? And we have tons of stuff coming up to make sure that you can help your buyers be the winners in all of that. So step number one is take that mindset shift and agree to have yourself believe that June 30th is now the end of the year. Step number two, I want you to take the time this afternoon to write out your activities. What activities are you going to focus on over the course of the next 12 weeks, right? To hit that goal. And maybe the goal is, I want to have at least 70% of my income pending or closed by June 30th. P.S. That's not a bad goal. 70% of your annual income pending or closed by June the 30th. You make it what you want. Maybe you want your goal to be, I'm going to take a listing a week for the next 12 weeks. Maybe you want your goal to be, I'm going to take 3 listings a week for the next 12 weeks. Maybe your goal is to sell every single buyer that you have under, under contract right now, a house in the next 12 weeks. Whatever that looks like, I want you to get real clarity around the activities that it takes to accomplish that goal. Maybe your activities are 20 contacts a day. Run 2 new Facebook ads every week. Host 2 open houses a week. Call 10 expireds a week. Make sure you ask for business at least 10 times in a week. Again, whatever those things are that you know will drive you towards your goal, I want you to outline those. It shouldn't be really more than 3 or 5 activities that you're focused on, or else your focus is kind of all over the place. So get specific about what activities drive the result that you're pushing towards and create a schedule that you will then repeat for each of the 12 weeks. Excuse me. And then number 3, and I want you to recognize I'm condensing a 200-page book into 12 minutes. So step number 3, keep score. Once you've actually changed your mindset around the next 12 weeks and created an action plan for yourself to drive yourself towards a year-end goal, right? Because from here on out, the year ends 12 weeks from now. Our year now ends June the 30th. You're going to keep hearing me talk about that. In May, I'm going to talk about Thanksgiving. So be prepared. So the idea of keeping score is just that. Every single week when you get to Tuesday night, Wednesday to Wednesday, right? You get to Tuesday night. What did you do the last 7 days? Did you hit those targets that you outlined? Those 3 to 5 absolutely non-negotiable activities? Yes, yes, no, no. If you're at least 85% or better, you give yourself a big old thumbs up, a big old star, a big old check, have an ice cream cone or maybe a bath, and call it a week. Right underneath that 85%, you have to just take a quick look and say, okay, where did I fall short? If I did one more activity, could I have moved that to accomplishing at least 85% of the things that I said I wanted to accomplish? Right? 85% is that trigger point, because here's what we know. If you will accomplish 85% of your activities consistently over a 12-week period, you will accomplish your goals. If you fall short of that, you may well fall short of accomplishing those goals. And here's the thing, if you get to the end of 1 week and you've only hit 50% of what of your activities, it's not time to retire. You don't hang up your Mojo dialer. Instead, you just take a look backwards and say, what got in my way? How can I tweak this coming week to make sure I do hit the 85%? Because it's all about averages, right? You're gonna, if you fall flat one week, the next week, you have to get better, right? 1% every day is what somebody recently told us, right? And so how are you going to get better the next week and better the next week so that you're pushing towards that 85% number of check marks next to your activities? Guys, that's kind of the short version of what I'd like you to focus on in the next 12 weeks. Create a plan for a specific goal that you have in mind to accomplish by June the 30th, which is 12 weeks from now. Have that mindset around that's the deadline, that's the push for the end of the year. You don't have time after that. Because here's what's fun, on July the 1st, you get to start a whole nother 12-week year and push again for 12 weeks. And then on October 1st, you get to start all over again for another push, right? We're going to take the whole annualness from our business and create an opportunity for you to be more efficient and more effective by looking at 12-week chunks, which, by the way, you can control a whole lot better than what's going to happen in November, right? You can reach the next 12 weeks. You can't reach 9 months out. And then, of course, keep score. Here's the offer we will make you. If you would like to report your score, anybody in the Market Center, any of your staff members, any of your leadership team are happy to be on the other end of you reporting that weekly score. If you want some outside assistance to make sure that you're reporting it and make sure that you're asking yourself questions around it. If you're just recording it for yourself, it's oftentimes hard to ask yourself those questions. So feel free to utilize us each week to send those scores and say, you know what, I scored a 72%. Awesome. Because here's what we'll ask you back. What got in your way last week from hitting the 85%, and what will you do differently this week to make sure that you hit 85%? Just simple questions, right? But oftentimes I find that if I have someone else helping me and asking me those questions back, I answer them more readily than if I rely on myself. So use us, use each other. Let's get really, really hunkered down for the next 12 weeks and maximize not only what the market is going to bring, but what you can create for yourselves. And it will be spectacular on June the 30th to look back and say, holy Christmas, look what we achieved. I'm really excited to work that through with you. Again, the book is the 12-week year. If you want the 200-page version of what I just gave you, it's well worth the read. Have a great day today. Have a lovely week. And we will see you later and or tomorrow. Love you all. Take care.